Today I'll tell you how to treat the inner part of your sills without any special tools or skills. Firstly, why do this? Here's an argument. On one hand, the Peugeot 308 has no problems with thresholds or corrosion. On the other, no one would say that additional corrosion protection is bad. From another point of view, you might ask, do I plan to drive this car into my old age? The value of extra protection for hidden parts if there's a high chance you'll keep the car for the next 5 years or more. This Peugeot will for sure have no issues with the sills, at least not concerning rust, so yes, the car will sell. As for whom all of this was for, remains a mystery, so I'll share with you one of the ways to do it, and whether it's needed or not, is not up to me. There are no access holes to reach the sill cavity technically. You can't get there from the front. Here at the back, there is a screw that secures the rear wheel locker. If you undo this screw, you get amazing access to the interior of the sill. The problem is the hole diameter is around 4 millimeters, meaning not much can fit in there. But let's stay organized and do things in order. What I used as a rust-proofing agent is Mobil with zinc from Astrahim. The price tag at the time of making the video was about 30 Belarusian rubles, although you might find it cheaper. Summing up, let's say roughly $10, rounding it off a bit. A nice addition with this product is that it comes with a tube including a spray nozzle, and the tube fits perfectly in diameter. But it's short, so we go to the pharmacy and buy a thing like this. Common people call it a drip, and in science, a system for infusion of infusion solutions. We do some simple manipulations. We get a long, thin hose that will be enough for the entire length of the threshold, even with a margin. I won't describe in detail how many centimeters I cut where. Everything is intuitively simple. The only thing is that at the end of the hose, I thought to strengthen it a little, so to speak, with wire and heat shrink so that it definitely doesn't twist. And it could be manipulated inside the threshold, well, let's say, to the left or to the right. But as experience has shown, the entire heat shrink had to be cut off because the hose became too thick and it no longer fit there. Well, let's get down to the process itself. For convenience, we remove the rear wheel and unscrew this screw that holds the locker. Here is our technological hole. As I already said, the hose with heat shrink didn't fit, so I cut it off. So this tank is perfectly fine for 2 thresholds. During this process, I periodically weighed the tank to understand whether it would be enough for me or not, whether I needed to move faster or slower, but you don't need to overdo it. Just approximately gauge how fast I do it. You will manage. Actually, it's almost everything. The only thing is that I tried not to remove the wheel at the other threshold, and it's totally feasible. The only less convenient bit is unscrewing the screw. That's it. No more discomfort. Everything else is exactly the same. If the question arises, how does the nozzle inflate with uniform jets or drops or whatever, it's surprisingly good and sufficient. A uniform fine cloud. I wanted to take a picture, but it turned out somehow not very well. It is not very visible on the sand. Just believe me the word. It sprays for a hose cylinder. Just excellent. In total for this whole thing, in terms of money, you will need about $11. This is already with a dropper, although the price tag may vary depending on the means you choose. If you do not remove the wheels, then it's, well, let it be 10 minutes on the doorstep, taking into account the rest of the coffee, something like that. So see for yourself whether you need such a procedure or not. It's how, except for you, no one will know about it. It is quite difficult to determine it without opening the threshold. And that's all for today. Thank you all for your attention. Bye everyone.